all the billionaires are now like coming together to create 3D printing, and they're just recreating Epstein again to bring him back. Like all his friends miss him.
We need your connections, man.
Yeah, we need your mind. And he's like, I'm back.
Imagine that's the first person they bring back.
Should it be Albert Einstein, Oppenheimer,
Abraham Lincoln, Gandhi,
Elvis,
Elvis,
Michael Jackson. No,
oh,
getting
close. You're getting close.
Getting closer.
Getting closer. And Bill Clinton's like, yes.
Yeah. I missed you, Jeffrey. Look at my finger. So I burned my finger. I was making some food and I burned my finger.
Oh,
How weak is our body
Yeah.
that I touch a hot pan
Yeah.
and then it bubbles? When I was a kid, I would complain and whine and dine, and
Yeah.
now I feel more masculine because I'm like, look at that bubble. It doesn't hurt anymore.
It doesn't hurt? The bubble
I
doesn't
don't
hurt?
feel it anymore.
Bubbles hurt usually.
Yeah, it hurts, but
It's
I don't
filled with
care.
a liquid
It
that's
doesn't
supposed to
bug me.
defend you or whatever.
Yeah, what is this? Oh,
Oh, it's whoa.
what's that?
That's yours. I got
Ah.
one just in case
Okay, cool.
you want one. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the Good Night Podcast. We're happy you're here. Gabe is pouring himself some British tea. I would like to start, Gabe, with a... Remember last time we did a joke about one of my student told me a joke?
Yeah.
I have a new one. You want to hear it?
Yeah,
she,
yeah, for sure.
she told me yesterday. So,
Mm.
you ready?
Yeah.
I hope you make shorts with this.
Okay.
Amer tells children's stories.
Okay, yeah.
For those listening, I have a part-time job. I teach Chinese kids English.
Yeah.
And one of them is a really smart girl. She reminds me of me. She's smart. She
Mhm.
loves art.
Mhm.
She's like, I want to be a comedian and a scientist. I'm like, oh my
Wow.
God.
That's
That's
nice.
my daughter. She's got my genes. So she told me a joke once and I laughed really hard. And now she's like, oh, I'm going to tell you a joke every class.
Okay, yeah, great.
So he's like, it's a story about a boy. His name is Timmy. And Timmy was very lazy. So lazy. So lazy. And one day his dad asked him, you're so lazy. What do you want to be when you grow up? And Timmy was like, I want to be Father Santa. Santa Claus. I want to be Santa Claus. And the father is like, but Santa Claus, that's a hard job. He's like, yes, but I can only work one day a year.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. It's true. Santa Claus is like fat old Willy Wonka, basically.
Fat
but
old Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka makes chocolate, and he has a bunch of small people working for him. And
Yeah.
Santa Claus has a bunch of small people working for him
Mhm.
too.
Mm.
So they're very similar.
So he's a capitalist pig.
Yeah, a little bit. Dude, the Oompa Loompas used to scare me so much as a kid. Remember the Oompa Loompas?
So we have a friend who's a tiny person like that. I don't think tiny person is a polite way of calling them.
He's a little
He's
itty
a
bitty.
itty bitty, teeny beeny, tight bikini. And I was hanging out with he was there. We
Mhm.
were just not hanging out. We were outside a show,
Mhm.
and he was there, that small person. And there was a friend who just had a baby.
Mm.
She's like maybe at 2 years old or whatever. So the mommy was holding the baby,
Uh-huh.
and the baby saw the small person.
Oh.
And it was clearly in her eyes. You could tell that was the first time she sees a small
Yeah.
person. She's like, ah! Ah! Like she couldn't understand. Like, is he
That's
smoking? Like, what the heck is
so
happening over
good.
here?
That's so funny. Well,
Scared.
Yeah. Well, now the kid's gonna be brave from now on because that's the scariest thing you could possibly see. I
Like
didn't.
an adult herself, like, I'll never grow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be this size forever. Ah!
I never saw a small person
Yeah.
until like much older. I was like maybe 10. I didn't see any small people.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a small person and being like, oh my god, it's so interesting. I also remember the first time I saw a person wearing a turban, like a boy wearing a turban in
Yeah.
the bathroom, and I thought he was a girl. Right? I thought, I was like, what are you doing in the bathroom? And he's like, I'm a boy. And it's like, you're not a boy. And then
Show me your
and now, and then I learned that they wear little big
The little
turbans.
turbans,
and,
yeah.
and they grow into big
Yeah.
turbans.
I caught myself. I'm like, oh, that's good. I was walking behind a girl. She was a small person, but she had a great ass.
Oh, yeah?
She had it. I'm like, and I'm walking behind her, in your mind, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a great ass. I'm like, oh, that's a small person. Because she wasn't
Small.
like, she was medium small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like she was small, but she had like a huge, she was wearing leather pants. I'm like, oh, she knows.
Whoa.
She's like, check it out. Check
Damn.
it out.
Damn.
Great ass. Great ass.
The worst, do not look up, like anytime you see like like an Instagram reel of like it's like little people, let's
Yeah.
say, and it's like a family. There's this one particular Instagram reel that I always see. It's like this family, like the father's little, the baby's little, the mom's little, and even the grandfather's little, and there's there's like
Rent must be cheap.
yeah, no, they live in a nice house, and it's all just tall. Everything's
They
really
can
tall.
afford.
Yeah.
Your income should be based on your height. God dang it.
But so there's the baby, and the baby looks scary because it's like because they didn't grow or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that they grow that much more, but they didn't grow into their face, so they look very scary. And you go in the comments, and this family's so brave for keeping the comments on because every comment is like a GIF of like someone like doing this motion where they're just stomping on something.
Oh God.
And
dang.
it's like hundreds
Oh,
and
yeah.
hundreds.
The internet remains undefeated.
And I'm like, yo, this is.
Dude, some of the funniest thing I've read are comments. Sometimes
Yeah.
you'll see a funny video, and then
so
you'll open
good.
the comments, and you're like,
Yeah, you're crying. Oh, it's so good.
it's proved to me, like, if you put 1,000 monkeys, comments for me is like, you know, the expression, if you
Yeah.
put 1,000 monkeys with 1,000 typewriter, you'll end up with Shakespeare or whatever.
Yeah.
For me, that's the comments. If you put 1,000,000 monkeys
Mhm.
with 1,000,000 phones, you'll end up with the funniest thing.
It's so good.
Louis C.K. Richard Pryor level
Yeah.
hilarity, because people are anonymous and they don't care. I had one comment and it got viral.
Mm-hmm.
It's
What
so
was it?
funny. Like, people who like comments. Someone was making a video about how Palestine is called Palestine and Arabic is Palestine, and he was saying that's because Arabs we don't have p. The letter p doesn't exist.
Really?
No, it's like let's say I want to eat a potato. We say I want to eat a potato.
Arabic people say
Yeah,
that.
they,
Okay.
they have difficulties pronouncing the letter p. P does not exist.
Mm.
And I wrote in the comment, like, my dad told me this morning he supports BLM, Palestinian Lives Matter.
Oh, okay. That's
Funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
Cute, whatever.
Yeah.
2,500.
Wow.
Like,
It's too bad that doesn't convert to money.
nope.
Yeah, no matter what,
Nope.
it
I
just.
think I got a couple followers, but that's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is on Twitter.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
It's like an educational video of a
Oh,
guy
it's so
explaining.
funny. People like following someone from a funny comment, but it's a smart thing to do. Like if you're a celebrity commenting on a bigger celebrity's
Yeah.
post, and then your thing's at the top,
Yeah.
you'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
like
that's true.
you'll just get like a few hundred followers maybe just from like
Yeah.
saying something.
You
who
gotta
knows?
show more. You gotta get sexier, apparently. We gotta do the Matt Trife route.
Oh yeah,
You're getting there.
I'm okay.
You're working out.
I had a bunch of potatoes today.
How dare you? I told you, you're not allowed to eat potatoes.
I love potatoes, and I had a pork chop, and then I had asparagus.
No,
Love.
it's water and half an almond.
Half an almond.
You have to be the sexy one. And we
No.
need a Matt Trife.
Oh.
Matt Trife was O'Rife.
Oh, this weekend I hung out with my brother one
Nice.
night, and I drank with him, and it was interesting. We were drinking. We went to Bootlegger. You ever go to Bootlegger? I know they had a show there.
Yeah, I did. I don't go out, so I went there for shows.
but it's like it's
drink place.
yeah, it's like they changed it. I remember back then when there was a show, it was pretty barren, like kind of like barren. But now it's like really nicely decorated and it was fancy. It was so expensive. I was like, oh my god, I'm never going out again. But there was a waiter, and he was like this Chinese waiter. You might know him. No, I remember I was like just tips. So it's the first time I drank this much in like months, and I'm all like excited. And one of the drinks I drank was from like it was like glass or plastic see-through like milk carton looking thing. Because
Yeah.
the drink was called Back to School.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like creamy, milky liquors in there. So it was like as if I was drinking out of a milk carton,
Yeah.
you know? And the straw that went inside, it was like a straw top, and then it would open up at the bottom, and it would be like a beaver tail at the bottom with different holes. So you would suck the water from like these small little holes on this flat brim
Yeah.
end. And I was like, oh, I want this straw.
So
And then I was, what?
I know what you're gonna say. You stole it.
No, I wanted to steal it, but I think the drunk me is way nicer than the sober me. I was like, no, I'm gonna ask him. I'm like, hey, you think I could have the straw? And he's like, of course. And then at the end of the night, I look at the bill. He charged me $10.
For the straw?
Yeah. I was like, I should have stole it.
You should have just stole it.
I did steal. I had a martini. I had a whiskey martini. I've never had that. It was very interesting.
Whiskey martini.
It was weird. It was good though. It was just, I guess, whiskey and vermouth and
That's it.
olives, I guess.
Yeah,
or
and then-
whatever. Yeah. And there was like a gold-plated olive piercer,
Yeah.
and I took that. So it's at my house now.
Dude, I've been to 3 or 4 drink places,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm done. That's
Yeah.
it. They're overrated. The only good thing
Mhm.
about them is that they're so overpriced and they're so chic. It's always full of women because women they like to
Mm.
feel fancy.
Yeah.
Other than that, the drinks usually they're too sweet. They're too expensive. It's not worth it.
I don't want to go.
Oh.
I had a nice time, but I don't want to go to fancy bars anymore. I love.
I love fancy bars.
But what did you say? You said you're fed up with them.
Yeah, fed up with bad ones because like there's a few good ones that have been open for years. I'm not gonna say their name because
Uh-huh.
they're mine.
Uh-huh.
And I told you like I like to go there for my first date, but I went to like a couple of ones, very famous ones in
Mhm.
Montreal. They're newish, and I was disappointed.
Mm.
It's always small. It's like a hallway,
Yeah.
and you're like the bartender is like, how do you like drinks? I'm like, I don't like them sweet. I like them bitter. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And you're trying to have a conversation with a girl, and the guy's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of my face, and
Yeah.
it's just super compact. It's
No.
literally a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
$60 for 2 drinks.
Mm-hmm. You know, I
Too
wish
much.
like, you know what my perfect bar would be? It would be like the bar and then like a tube that would go all the way from the bar into my house and into my cup. That's the best bar.
So you stay at home, just
Yeah.
you could buy a tap if you want.
Oh my God, I would lose my mind. So, oh man, even
You can install it now.
I don't. It's too much, you know. But I used to love the Drew Carey Show. You ever watch the Drew Carey Show?
Yes.
That was one of the best sitcoms that doesn't get its due, that nobody remembers, that's not even on any streaming platform. It had like 200 episodes. It went as long as Seinfeld and
Yeah.
Frasier and all and whatever. But like for some reason, you can't even find DVDs of this thing anymore. I had to, and then you download it online and it's like the worst quality. It's like they're trying to hide the
It's a
Drew Carey.
guy filming a VHS,
Yeah.
like filming a TV, and he's like, "What? You eat you hear the popcorn? the guy's
laughing
watching
at the jokes.
rocks or whatever. What is it?
Cleveland Rock. I don't know.
Oh, you see the hands. And you're like, oh man.
So the two guys, Oswald and Lewis, Drew Carey's best friends, they lived above a bar. And I remember I was young enough, like, because I used to watch the show every few years. I just
Yeah.
rewatch the whole, because it's like my favorite show. And I remember I was like in my early 20s watching the show, and I'm like, that's my dream. I'm going to live above a bar. And then they said, like, check this out. They wanted to press girls that would come over. They would open up, like, the floor. And he'd be like, hey, Larry, throw me some. And then 2 beers would just fly up. And then the line he would say is, just felt like I made a deal with the devil. And that was the running game. So that was like my dream. But now it's not my dream anymore. It's not my dream anymore.
It would be a nightmare. Imagine
Yeah, I
how
know.
loud it's 2 in the morning.
It's horrible.
Just hearing the bass
Yeah.
from the bar.
God, I wish alcohol
Yeah.
was healthy. I wish. Like,
I mean, everything is healthy in moderation.
not alcohol. I think like Andrew Huberman said, more than 2 drinks, it's killing
in
you.
moderation. That's
That's
moderation.
not moderation. Is like I'll have a bag of chips after dinner, or no, or
That moderation is
Yeah.
like once a week you'll have a drink and you're like, hey, that was great.
I
That was
know.
fantastic. I had my booze for the week.
God.
I'm fine. Salam alaikum.
Oh God, no. But it's almost like, okay, shisha. Like
It's horrible.
but you love
I'm
it,
killing
right?
myself.
Yeah. Oh, and now I'm making the choice. Whatever. I bought eggnog though.
That's
I'm not.
it.
I don't know what to do with it. But I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Well, give
I'm
yourself
looking
a
at.
day.
I'm looking at the whiskey. And I'm looking at the eggnog, and I'm trying to like do telepathy to feel drunk by looking at them.
Just punch yourself. Just keep hitting your. Buy a beer tap and hit yourself in the beard with a beer tap.
I bought vermouth. I bought olives. And I was like just looking at all the things.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting to like December 22nd.
Yeah, and that's do it.
Because I know that's the day after the Mythos show.
Yeah.
And
you're
then I have like nothing for like 3 days.
like, okay, and you're just gonna.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
But make it an event, so you're like, okay, let's enjoy it to the max. Now, don't just drink and sit with the lights off, staring at a wall.
Well, I'm with Clara. We're like walking
get
and
tipsy with Claire,
riding a
whatever, have
reindeer. You
fun,
know, yeah,
Make a baby, like enjoy.
yeah. No, it's fun. I do love. And we got I got a Christmas tree.
You got a Christmas tree.
Yeah, we went to Christmas right by my house. There was a bunch of trees, and
I
picked one.
chopped down.
Yeah, well, they
the
chased.
park?
No, yeah. The
There was
squirrels
this
living in it.
park, I got this tree from Jerry Park. I don't know if you heard it. It's a nice little park.
It's a poison ivy all over it. Yeah, it was good. Claire decorated. It looks all pretty.
Aw. That's white people's houses look great on Christmas, just from the
Yeah.
outside. Because you go inside and then you hear like the alcoholic father, the daughter who hates her family, the child who cuts himself. Yeah, like, but on TV wise, if you look from the outside, like, oh,
Yeah, it looks nice.
Christmas.
But you think about it's Christians, right?
Yeah.
And it's Christians is a huge swab of people.
Yeah.
It's like Portuguese people and like Greek people and they're like, you go in their house and they have their own version of Christmas.
Yeah.
Like you go Portuguese house, the trees.
It's a decorated chicken.
Yeah, it's rotisserie
just-
chicken.
It's a rotisserie
Sitting in
chicken.
circle.
Hey. Piri piri or whatever they call it.
Yeah, piri Christmas trees.
Piri piri, happy piri piri Christmas tree.
Oh, so funny. I love old like basements from like Europeans. Like my grandma's basement is almost exactly the same from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like the carpet is so old.
Yeah.
The carpet is older than me. Like
Yeah.
the carpet is like, imagine like an old guy's head just living all around the floor. It's dandruffy and nasty. It's secrets in there and yeah, man, gross. But it's great. I love it.
The idea of renovating a house
Mhm.
is so North American
Yeah.
to me, because like, or maybe because it's rich people, so
Mhm.
I associate North American. But in Lebanon, I like the idea of like, okay, you have a kitchen. Is it functional? Yes. And why would you change it?
I know. That's what I think.
Just keep it as is.
Yeah.
I think it's women. Women like,
Oh,
I'm bored.
100 million bajillion %. Oh, what was that?
I spat.
Oh, okay.
It's women.
Because Claire's mom renovates the kitchen every 4 years.
Oh my god.
Like, and I remember I went to her house for the first time, and I'm like, this is a beautiful kitchen. And I came back, and it was totally different. Like, they added parts to the kitchen, and they rearranged the garage, and then now it's a whole, and now
They
they're
need a
like,
grandchild. That's what they need. They need a grandchild to
Maybe.
renovate the grandchild.
they got 2 dogs. It's not,
That's they need another one.
yeah.
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 I got quiet all over board. Like, what are you talking about?
But
Oh.
it's hardcore.
Like the idea of like my kitchen is old. It's from like the 1820s. But I'm like, it does the job. Why would I?
No, yeah.
It's efficient. I went to the garage today
Mhm.
to fix my car. My dude who trips. Remember? I told
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The wire.
By the way, genius
Yeah.
mechanic, but still trips on wires.
That's funny.
Just with no, this he's just that's just me. I just trip on wires. But he's a genius mechanic. And I was looking at his apartment, the way he sets up things. I'm like, this is how I organize my whole house. It's like, okay, this is the corner to do this. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not clean, but it's not dirty.
Yeah.
It's just messy, but I know where to find everything I need.
Mhm. Yeah.
My whole apartment is just one huge garage.
Yeah, like it's like you basically map it out. Like you know
Yeah.
where exactly it's almost
Yeah.
like this is the sock area and this is the food area
Yeah.
and this is the
It's all. There's no. It's
Yeah.
This. I like my apartment.
Mhm.
My rent is cheap because I'm sometimes thinking like, oh, should I move out? But I'm
No,
like,
this is the biggest apartment for the price I've ever seen in my life.
it's insane.
Like people just live in a room like this and then that's their house.
and they pay triple.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is like the studios.
I'm
people's
so
apartment.
lucky that I
Yeah.
get to have corners, like functional corners. Like this
Yeah.
is for teaching. This is for sleeping.
It's
this
pretty
is
sweet. Yeah,
I
woo.
have so many memories in my this
Mm.
apartment.
Yeah, I bet, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like this sofa, this view
Mhm.
reminds me of like 3 women.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where are they buried?
Mhm. Jerry Park. All right. I wanted to talk about a few things.
Oh yeah.
Did I tell you a story about maybe did you hear it on stage about the chocolate almond?
Oh yeah, yeah. And the guy was like,
Okay, well,
okay, yeah.
I'll say it.
Okay,
very-
yeah.
So I took the metro. I don't take the metro often.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the metro and I was sitting and there was a guy next to me and he was eating and he dropped a chocolate almond
Mm-hmm.
and I just heard that ta-ta. So I turned, I looked at it and there was like an extra half a second where he didn't move
Ooh.
and I didn't move. So I'm like, okay, I'll just be a good citizen and I'll just pick it up. So I picked up the chocolate almond and I gave it to him and he's like, thank you. Like you could tell by his face he wasn't planning on picking it up.
Yeah, you probably.
So it's so fun. He was eating chocolate almonds with one hand and holding that extra almond in the other hand. And then I kept looking at him from the corner, and I could see him in his reflection in the window. And like after 2 stations, he just went, and yeah.
Oh, you did. I would have thrown on the tracks.
On the track. So I
Yeah.
opened the window and the
Oh,
metro.
I thought for some reason you were waiting outside.
No, we were in the metro.
In the metro.
I'm like, oh, that's a funny moment.
That's funny.
I don't usually take the metro.
Yeah.
Dude, some people are rude in the metro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I take the metro, because for me, I'm like a tourist in the metro. I don't take it
Mm.
often. I don't
Mhm.
take public transportation. So I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm in the metro. I'm going to be a good citizen. I'm going to, like, ooh, I'm taking the metro.
Yeah.
So I'm going up the stairs, and I see there's an old lady. She's like 105 years old.
Mhm.
And she's like pushing this cart. And you can see she was going down the stairs. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a good citizen. So I'm like, Madame, can I help you? And she just doesn't make eye contact. I'm like, Madame. And without making eye contact, she goes, no. I'm like, okay.
That's great.
Like, I look white. Like, why
That's
you?
amazing, dude. Yeah, no.
Clearly, I'm not gonna.
That's why you don't stop for anything.
Why you racist?
Yeah, like even if it's a homeless guy that's passed out, a woman stabbed, just keep on walking. Don't ignore everybody on the metro. I'm like a horse on my way to my house.
Well, that's how I drive.
Yeah.
I drive with a purpose.
Yeah.
But on the metro, as I said, I'm a tourist. I'm like,
Mhm.
ooh.
Oh yeah.
The worst is once. I don't know if I told you this. I was taking the metro. I was in Paris when we were in Paris. I was taking the metro. I'm going up the stairs, and there's some steep stairs, and I noticed there's an old man, and he has the same thing. He has like a little cart that he's pushing, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go help him. So I go up like, Monsieur, can I help you? He's like, yeah, well, thank you. So I take the cart and I'm bringing it down, and when you look, because it's open, right? I know like just empty beer cans and like clothes. I'm like, oh, he's homeless.
Oh.
I'm like, and I look at him like, oh yeah, look, he is. I didn't look at his clothes or anything. I just saw his eyes. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's an old man. Let me go help
Yeah.
him. I'm like, probably got like a dead baby and some poop in there. I'm like, man, I helped, but like,
damn.
I don't know why I felt like, why did I help him? Like, he's homeless. You should still help homeless
Yeah,
people.
you should, but it's also.
But I don't want to touch his stuff. That's the only
Yeah,
problem.
you know it's okay. This is how you come off as not as rude. Let's say you.
Just push the cart.
Yeah. Well, because right now you helped him, but then you regretted helping him. So you're like, why?
No,
did
I don't regret helping him. I regret touching everything that he
touching.
owns.
Okay.
'Cause, like, I'm gonna die of cholera. Like I swear I was walking with my hand like this till I washed it.
Whoa.
Because it was like
Mm-hmm.
it had like homeless sweat.
Oh, like
Because he's wearing like 3 jackets. I forgot. I swear.
essential oils.
Because it was summer. It was July. It was Paris. It was really hot.
gross.
So he was wearing. I saw like, wait, he's wearing like 4 jackets. Like it didn't. I just saw an old man. Like, oh, I'm gonna go help
Yeah,
him.
at least Paris Fashion Week is weird.
Everyone participates on all ages. I'm like, I had old man sweat. It was like sticky and
gross.
sweaty at the same time.
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
I remember like walking. Oh man, it's so creepy. Like as a kid, being like exposed to downtown Montreal for the first time. I'm like 14 years old, hanging with my friends, and then there's a homeless guy being like, "Hey man, can you help me?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Man, I really need some help." And he lifted up his beard, and his whole, like he was all like bloody. I was like, "Oh!" And then he, oh no, I'm mixing up a bunch of stories at the same time. No, this was I got like robbed by a homeless. Yeah.
You're writing so much. You're like, I'm just gonna combine the best story ever and combine like 6 different stories till I get the best story. And then my dad jumped from a window and fell on a motorcycle, and he was the homeless guy. Pa, pa, pa.
Yeah, he was like, I remember he was like, "Give me your money." I remember coming from a party, and then I was like walking home. I was like probably 18, and this homeless guy stopped me. He's like, "You have some money?" And I was so like in a good mood. I was like, "Here you go, sir." And I gave him $1, and he's like, "Give me more." And I'm like, "Oh, damn, he's gonna." And then I think he pushed me up against the wall, but he was like, I was so scared. But like, I think looking back now, I realized he was like an old, frail man, like basically. But
you
but he
coulda
still
beat
probably. But I
heck
didn't
out
know.
of him.
In the moment, I was like, oh, because he was all bloody and weird looking, and he's
His
so,
disgust is his like like
Yeah.
black belt jujitsu.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, I don't know how to deal with a guy who's technical like this. That's his technique.
Yeah,
He's just like, oh,
yeah.
smell me. You're like,
Smell my armpit. I gave him $20. That's it.
tap. Yeah, you gave him $20.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And then he gave me. I had like headphones and remember the iPod Color or whatever
Yeah.
or video, and he gave it back to me.
He's like,
He didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
He just didn't know. And I was like,
They
"Thank
must
you."
be so far behind on technology.
100%. Especially then, it was like before the iPhone 2 and all that. Before YouTube, nobody know. They had no technology. They before even like Like you walk by like a bus stop and now it's like a screen with like a girl with white teeth and like a toothbrush. Back then it was like a ripped poster. Remember that? And like use it as toilet paper. That's all they had. Now it's like you're used to screens.
Like if I showed him a bidet, like a homeless guy who's been homeless for a few years, if he saw a bidet, he'd be like, the idea of washing your butt sitting down, his brain is gonna explode. Like the idea to tell him like, oh, by the way, now there's like 25 genders. He'd be like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, I have a personality in my mind. I think she identifies or
he's like 25 genders. I can't even get 25 cents. That's what he would say.
Why do they sound like Vance?
That's funny. Yeah, he did sound like Vance.
Homeless people fascinate me. I have so many stories about homeless people because I once looked at a homeless guy. I was in the car with Cameron, and I looked at that guy. I'm like, the only difference between him and I, because he was like, he was rambling. I'm like, the only difference is that I get a laugh every 10 seconds. I'm as crazy as him, but for some reason, people decide like, that's a crazy guy, and this guy should be in show business. Like they're just insane.
Yeah, but I don't think you're like ravenous. Like
it's one of my biggest fear.
Yeah.
To end up homeless. It's insane.
Yeah. Damn. It would be. But it's so hard now with that job thing I sent you. You could be no one.
But the fear, I don't think it never goes away.
Yeah.
I don't think because here's the thing, everything can be taken away from you just like that. You end up let's say you like, I don't know, Claire leaves you.
Yeah.
For
Richard Gere.
No. Who would hurt you the most?
Oh,
for a guy you hate.
No, I don't hate him, but I'd be really confused and grossed out. Like, what?
It would look like a lollipop. Like he would be like, if she held him, it would be a lot. Anyway, please censor that.
Yeah.
She would leave you for your enemy. And they get married 2 weeks later, and she's pregnant, and your life is that you lose your job, and you start drinking again, and it's just a spiral all the way down, and then, bam, homeless.
Wow!
You're on the street going, "Hey, I'm Pedro Mutarda," and I'm like, I used to have a podcast with that guy.
Damn. No, but I have like
because you could be homeless. Like, listen, all homeless people have great hair. You have great hair.
You're right.
They all have great hair. They all have beautiful, thick hair.
I saw a homeless guy holding a bird, like a pigeon or a crow or something. So that's amazing.
Crow?
Yeah.
He saw like a witch.
No.
A witch man. He's like,
we were walking by this homeless guy holding a crow, and then Claire was like, "Oh no, he's got a bird!" And so she made us go to Belle Provence to buy him like food.
The bird?
No, the guy. And then like, the guy was like surrounded by like people. I think the bird was good, like bait.
He's like eating the bird. I would eat birds.
Piri.
You would eat birds?
Would I eat birds?
What do you eat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would have to cook them good and pluck the feathers.
Do you eat, like a bird sashimi?
I don't think so because it's
a
poultry, right? There's
poultry, so you need to cook it and stuff.
Oh, you know what I learned though? Actually, you know those diseases that are on the meat?
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the meat. There's like chicken. Let's say they're raised on a farm, and then like next to the farm, there's like pigs, and then they in this river, and they all just like drink the same water, and then when they like they kill them or whatever, they have like all these diseases in them because of that.
Because it's like a living space.
Yeah,
but that's nature too.
But no, but in nature it would be like.
But they all live together in nature.
But they're not like a million on top of each other. You know?
And there's an owl going hello.
Yeah, but it's different.
And there's a turtle going go to school.
Go to school.
You know, they all live.
But they're not living like 10 on top of each other.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Each other's heads.
But I think salmonella, which is the thing you get from chicken, is just because it's just meat. Just meat has salmonella.
But I think also you can get that from lettuce. Because it's from this. Sometimes they also grow lettuce and right next to where they have pigs.
Oh,
and
so
then they
get pigs.
It's like pigs.
Muslims and Jews were right. Pigs apparently cause all the problems.
It's pigs and then like chickens.
COVID came from pigs.
Yeah. I ate a pig and then
you ate a pig exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't know if it's salmonella. It's maybe salmonella is also a foodborne disease that's just existing in food. But
no one listening to this Eugene is listening to like these idiots.
No, but there's a few times.
Message me, Eugene, when you get to this point.
There,
and tell me.
Eugene fact checked me on one thing, and then he said, "Oh, that was pretty accurate." I'm like, "Okay, pretty accurate is good enough." Like this is, I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, definitely. There's diseases
Yeah.
from slavery of animals.
Yeah.
Put them all together,
Mhm.
and then of course, no one's supposed to live. A chicken is not supposed to live in a 2x4, like 2 inches by 4 inches,
Ooh.
with humongous breasts. They're so big that they can't stand.
Oh no!
Did you know this?
Yeah,
They're so big that
and
they
then
can't stand.
buy them at Maxi for $10
Exactly.
for like 1,000 chickens.
For some reason, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I mean, if I was richer, I would care.
uh-huh.
I think if I had more money, I'd be like, all right, let's buy cruelty-free food.
Yeah,
But in the meantime,
yeah, I don't know. Like I would, I wish there was like alternative.
I never think about it.
Yeah, I know,
When
never,
I'm
never.
eating, never think.
I
about
only think about it when someone else brings it up.
it. Yeah.
And then I feel bad. And then if I watch, like I watched this movie a while ago. It was like about like a big, like it was like about a hippopotamus-y looking monster, and it was all an allegory for like cows and captured inside like farming and stuff. And everyone at the end of the movie's crying because it's like, oh no, they're killing them.
And you're eating a steak.
I know, and I'm like, I'll never eat a hippo again. And then whatever, you know.
And then he ate it.
What else are you gonna eat? Like, like you have to be like super rich to create a new food. Like, like how do you?
Some people I know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say names. Are creating lab-created meats.
Yeah.
I have a friend.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
He's creating lab-created meat.
And it probably tastes as good, you know.
He told me it's not bad. He's like, it's good.
Mm.
It's like $5,000 for a little dumpling.
Wow.
Yeah, because you have to grow.
Yeah. Damn.
You can't just go meat. The good thing about the lab-created meats
Yeah.
is that's like, let's say we go live on Mars, which is
Mm.
probably what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I have a theory that, like Epstein had an island.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many millionaires are trying to go to space. They're like, we
go-
need to kids. Where can we kids? Space!
Yeah.
Elon!
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos! Let's go to space! Virgin guy! Let's go to space so we can kids over there. We need we can't fuck on
Finally.
an island. They have GPS everywhere.
No, the laws.
Where are the poor people never gonna go? Space!
Yeah.
Let's go to Mir or whatever. This International Space Station, and it's just kids there.
Ooh.
That's the next fad for billionaires. Kids in space. Anyway.
Ooh.
So the whole idea of lab-created meats is that we can finally leave orbit and
Mhm.
just grow meat, because apparently you need protein and stuff.
Yeah.
You can grow meat in space, and you can eat meat there. And I was
cool.
thinking about this, like, let's say in 500 years or
Mhm.
600 years, we live on Mars. We've perfected, and like, okay, let's create a pig, and then you have a pig, he's
Uh-huh.
walking around, and let's create a cow, and you have around, and you have like these big installations, and it takes a lot of energy to create a pig. And one day, one guy looking at another guy like, I don't know how to explain this, but I think if we take this pig's penis and we put it in this pig's vagina,
Okay.
something will happen. I can't explain it, but I think we could make pigs easier.
Yeah, way easier.
We could just, like they always try to jump on
I
each other and we
know.
stop them. What if?
It's literally just
let
gonna become
them-
farms on Mars.
Exactly. And then they just go back to just farming.
Yeah, it's way easier.
It's way easier. We don't need just.
And then
And
like
I want to that. I don't know how to explain it, but the thing we use to make urine.
yeah.
I want to put it in this female Martian thing. I want to.
Martians.
I don't know how. You know how like when we want to create another
Yeah.
child, we need to, create
Inseminate.
inseminate in like a cup, and then we put it and then in a machine, and it spins and
she drinks it.
What if I just put my urine creating device in this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but I think it would work.
Were you saying that people on Mars are stupid?
No, but they would forget
Oh.
because they're like, let's just create, because it's 500 years from now.
Or
600 years from now, and they've been
but how
there.
would they make? Like, would they grow other people also?
Yeah, exactly. Just like we can't afford for people to have sex, so we're just gonna inseminate.
Okay.
Like let's say like 600 years from now, we
Mm.
people just forgot how to make meat, how to like farming, and
Yeah.
how to create babies, and then the cycle just like how do we? I don't know why, but I have this urge to doggy style. I don't know what's doggy style, but that word popped in my dream. It popped in my dream, and now all I want to do is just that female thing, female Martian.
Do you think though that when they create an animal, it'll be like they'll create an animal, or they're just gonna create like a chicken leg?
Well, eventually, I think they'll just I will just create the whole thing.
Ah. But why not just create like a giant like what's the best part of a cow? Like
Say steak.
yeah, let's say they just create a giant like part of that steak
Yeah.
with like with lungs but with no brain and like no eyes, just like
But people eat the brain, and some people eat the eyes.
yeah, but not on the Mars. No.
You don't know. I don't know.
No.
Maybe in 600 years, like 3D printing.
Oh, that's easier.
And she just walks away. I'm talking like in 600 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, Earth, we don't exist anymore.
Oh,
it's just,
jeez.
just people have been living. There's only like 6,000 people on Mars, and they're like, we can't afford people to die, so it's artificial insemination. That's all we do.
Yeah.
We can't get animals there that would die. Like when they sent animals 600 years before. So
that's a nightmare. Imagine like living around when like the start of the apocalypse, where people are like on the way to Mars, and you're like goodbye.
Oh, it's not gonna be us.
And then like I know, but like
it's gonna be like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk.
No, but we're gonna be people waving goodbye. We're gonna be like goodbye, and then like they'll go to Mars, but then like we're fine, and then 10 years later. There's like a big earthquake or like hackers or whatever. And then
on Earth? Oh, it's gonna be Mad Max.
Oh man, I saw.
It's gonna be what's exactly happening right now in Gaza. Just Mad Max, man. It's crazy.
I saw this movie the other day. It was on Netflix. It just came out. I don't know. You might like it, but I'll ruin it. But it's called Leave the World Behind.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. I recommend this movie. It's not it's not a perfect movie, but it's
Leave the World Behind.
Yeah, it's an apocalyptic, kind of quirky drama with Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
So it's basically like this family goes on vacation. They go like somewhere in like the woods.
Oh, I watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
It
Yeah,
was nice.
I liked
It's
it.
good to see Julia Roberts. I love her smile.
It was spooky, man. That's
Yeah?
like my nightmare. My exact nightmare. Basically,
Interracial friendship.
no, man. It's like you're the black guy and I'm the white guy. You know?
You're Julia Roberts.
Oh, I'm Julia Roberts. Because Ethan Hawke was like a stoner.
I love Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke's the best. He's so hot no matter what age he is. It's crazy. But anyway, the movie's pretty. It's like imagine if like all of a sudden, like the day comes where our society begins to collapse.
It begins.
Like
No more Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the phone stopped.
GPS.
The TV, this
Gone.
Oh, it's so spooky, and it slowly happens, and slowly things start to unravel.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on? And that I had a weed drink. I watched this movie, and I was like, you get I never used to get goosebumps watching movies, but weed gives me like I start sweating. I'm like, God. Oh, God.
You know what's my favorite part of this movie? Is that the beginning of the apocalypse is exactly like 1992. No phones, no GPS, no Wi-Fi. It's as if, like, okay, before we go into the depth of hell, let's live as if it was like 1992 just chilling, no phones. It's okay. It's okay, guys.
It's not bad.
There's no phone. We'll just look at a map on a paper. Everything's gonna be fine.
Oh.
And then 10 days later, it's the 1800s. So you're killing your neighbor so you can take his food.
Spooky.
And then 10 days later, it's the 1500. You're chopping your kids so you can eat them. And then 10 days later, you're
creating pasta sauce.
It's like 2 million years before, where you're making stone cutting.
Oh yeah.
So we're just regressing.
Yeah.
The apocalypse is just basically life 6,000 years ago.
Where would you go? Like, you would have to be so lucky to be outside the city when there's an
you have to be rich. You have to have a chalet somewhere.
Ooh. I keep on thinking about
That's why people, I think, those billionaires have yachts. Because if you have a yacht, it's a fully self-contained thing. You're in the middle of the ocean.
It's fully self-contained?
Well, yeah, of course. You can stay on a yacht for like a year.
Oh,
and you don't know what these people have in their yachts. They probably have weapons and they have trees and
that's
fruit.
So cool.
Fruit like
like biomes.
Biomes, and they're making food and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably they have the machine that turns salt water into clean
saline.
Water.
Desalination.
In the sense, like, it's $1 billion boat.
Whoa.
So I'm assuming it's not just fancy rooms and stuff. Like Jeff Bezos, he has a yacht. I think if I was a billionaire, this is what I would do. I would have like a survival boat. We're like, all right, the end of the world's coming. We don't have the technology to go live in space.
Yeah.
Let's just take a jet or like a super fast helicopter to my boat, and
Uh-huh.
I'll just have my gigantic yacht, and I'll just be able to survive there for the rest
And
of
you'll
my
be
life.
like, this is my entertainment studio. This is my room, my kitchen. This is like my desalination machine. This is my room where we grow children of basically.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, that's what you would just have your,
Yeah.
your boat, and you could just like, all right, I guess I live. It must be human. I mean, it's $1 billion
Yeah.
yacht. So you just, I'll just live there for with my family and a few other friends or whatever.
Imagine like all the billionaires are now like coming together to like create like a 3D, like, you know, the 3D printing, and they're just recreating Epstein again to bring him back. Like all his friends miss him.
We need your connections, man.
Yeah, we need your mind.
Yeah, dude, how did you get those 17-year-olds
Yeah.
to
And he's like, I'm back.
imagine that's the first person they bring back from the dead.
That's what they bring
Like the
back.
scientists, like, guys, we made it. We can bring people
Yeah.
back to life from the death.
Should it be Albert Einstein, Oppenheimer,
Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
Gandhi. Yes,
Elvis.
again. Elvis.
Michael
Hey,
Jackson. No,
oh,
getting
closer.
Getting closer.
Getting closer. Ta-da! And he's like, hey.
I'm
Just comes out
back.
like,
Yeah.
let's get some.
And they're like, woo. They're just on a conga line.
And Bill Clinton's like, yes.
Yeah.
High five.
I missed you. What's his first name again? Roger Epstein. What's his name?
Let's just say David. No,
What's his name?
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey.
I missed you, Jeffrey.
I miss you, brother.
I missed you,
Let's
Jeffrey.
play the saxophone.
That's great. Dude.
That would be funny. That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it.
Yeah, we need a shift in the news again. Because I remember when, like,
That's a very narcissistic thing to say.
not for me, for you. But we need a shift, because I remember when Jeffrey Epstein was, himself.
Yeah.
Right? And then I remember I was in Scotland. I was hanging with like all those guys, right, in Scotland, and I was like we were all like, "Wow, that's crazy!" And we had a fun day talking about it.
Yeah.
And then now I need like a fun day like that again, where we talk about it.
Yeah, we need like more caught, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, we need
That'd
like
be
the
nice.
news.
I'm always down for
Well,
caught.
Like the Daily Show, right? It's every single day. They
It's-
need content,
yeah.
news content. They can't just be talking about laws.
Well, now it's Israel and Palestine. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When I hear
Yeah, tell me.
a racist moment I had,
Yeah.
I'm not proud of myself.
Oh, why?
I'm not.
Okay, tell me your racism.
So stupid. Oh God. Okay, as you know, like for example, during the Ukraine.
Yeah.
You okay?
Where's my can?
Oh, put it here.
Oh.
As you know, during the Ukraine, people in their bio start putting the flag of the Ukraine, right?
Yeah, yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue, whatever. And then the whole Palestine-Israel thing happened, and people start putting. I didn't know this. They started putting a watermelon.
Because of what? Okay, sorry.
Because the color of the watermelon are exactly like the colors of the Palestinian flag.
Oh.
Start putting watermelon. And I didn't know this. So the first time I saw watermelon in the bio of a girl, I thought it was for BLM. I'm like,
That would be a smart move for black people to take back the watermelon and the banana or whatever.
I felt, I'm like, oh, Amer,
Yeah.
Amer, you can't think like this. This is wrong.
No, that's a funny idea. It's a funny thought to have because you were, yeah.
Oh, no, it's
Your
a
mi-
racist thing.
But your mind went there, and you were not. It's not like you were gonna say it. Oh wait, no, but
I just did. Oh God. Hey, listen. When we started the sax thing,
The what?
When I did the sax sound earlier,
Yeah.
I have a theory. You want to hear my theory?
Mhm.
So, my favorite song,
It's a
Careless Whisper. Do you mind pulling out the lyrics?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so George Michael, he wrote a song called The Careless Whisper. And apparently, let me read you the lyrics quickly. I have a theory. What the hell?
There's all this. There's like. Wait.
Okay. So Careless Whisper,
Touched us.
one of the most famous songs ever written. It was super popular. It was by George Michael. So I'm gonna read it for you again, just like the bridge or
Okay.
whatever. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Time can never mend the careless whispers of a good friend. Blah blah blah. So apparently he wrote the song because when he was young, he apparently he cheated on a girl or whatever,
Aw.
and now he felt bad, so he wrote the song.
Damn.
I think that's a lie.
Why?
I think this song is written about the girl he loved, and he told her, "I can't be with you. I'm gay."
Was he gay?
Yeah, you didn't know George Michael was gay? Dude, sometimes I'm like, how is this friendship based between us?
Well, 'cause
There's so many things I want to like, this is hilarious. And you look at me and you're like, I don't understand. I'm like, there's so much, it bothers me. It bothers me that you're like, I have to explain everything before I get to the punchline, and it steals from the punchline. It bothers me so much, Gabriel.
The thing is, I
Culturally,
kind
we're so different.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I kind of knew he was gay, but I forgot that he was gay. Then you said he is in a relationship with a girl. Then I got confused, and then I'm like, I guess he wasn't gay. And then you said he's
Dude,
gay. And I
how
was like,
bad
huh.
am I at explaining myself? Sometimes I swear, like I think of a joke, I'm like, oh, I should tell on the bus. I'm like, oh, I have to explain the whole thing for him to get
Yeah,
the
I don't
punchline.
understand anything other than
Ugh.
like what's in my house.
So, anyways, I
Yeah.
think it's a lie because they asked him like, "Oh, what's the story behind this song?" He's like, "Oh, I was in love with a girl and I was not good to her and I felt bad, so he wrote the song." I think it makes more sense that like he found out he was, I don't know, 13 or 14. He found out he was gay,
Uh-huh.
and then he was dating a girl, and I'm like, and he realized like, I love that girl, but I can never be with her because I like men. So I'm like, that's why he says, I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet, I've got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool.
Okay.
Like, oh, of course you
Yeah.
realize I'm gay.
Okay.
I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given. Oh, I fell in love, but I'm not. So I'm never gonna dance again
Yeah.
the way I dance with you.
Another dude.
So I'm never gonna again
Okay.
the way I with you because I want to go blowing guys.
Yeah. That's what you
I
wanna
think this makes more
do.
sense
It does. No.
than to like, oh, I liked a girl and I cheat on her. Oh, and then he's like, that's why he feels bad
Uh-huh.
because he probably loved that girl.
Oh.
But of course he loved that girl. He probably had, he didn't know he was gay till he hit puberty or
they
whatever.
probably can get along more now he's gay though. He can like
yeah, but they
watch
love each other. Go tell
Oh.
a girl like, hey, I loved you, but I like guys now. Because he's a sensitive guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, that's why like he feels like should have known better than to cheat a friend. So
Oh.
maybe deep inside he knew he was gay,
Yeah.
but I'm like, no, I want to be with a girl. This is how you're supposed to be. before
Only
you
a
get
gay
with
guy
me."
would feel that bad. So it makes sense.
Why?
That was just a bad joke, but whatever.
You see, that's my sacred cow. Like, what do you mean? Are you making jokes about
No,
George Michael? You.
I just find it funny that you're shocked that I don't know anything about George Michael.
You don't know anything about anything.
I know.
Like I have a joke about Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm like,
Who?
Exactly.
I don't know that shit.
I hate you so
I know Drew Carey.
I hate you
I know
so
King of the Hill. Ask everybody. I bet everybody that isn't. What is he? He's he's Arabic or
oh,
Japanese or something.
Oh.
I know. Do you?
Okay,
Do you
here-
Yahoo? Do you Yahoo?
Oh God! All right, this is. I need to find another like.
Remember last week I was trying to talk about Grand Theft Auto.
It was a smart night.
You don't know anything
I don't
about
know
Grand Theft
exactly.
Auto. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what it's. We're culturally so different, you
Yeah.
and I. The fact that we recorded like 100 podcasts.
I think we're made
and
because
I still like you, and you still like me.
the
That's
7.
insane.
I think it's a 7-year age difference is pretty. It's pretty pronounced in certain ways because
No,
That-
it's
that's-
just a completely different route.
yeah, it's true.
When you're gonna be 40, you're still gonna be you. You're not gonna.
yeah, but I'm also not gonna know anything about what the hell's his name? Bruce Jenner? What's it? Wham?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
I
Here's
was trying to say the other guy, the gay guy,
George
Martin
Michael.
Freeman. What's his name? George Michael.
How can you?
Drew
by the
Michael
way,
Scott.
George Michael is not my childhood neither. It's just a beautiful song.
Oh.
He's my number one artist. That song.
Mm-hmm.
After 6 years in a row, okay, for 6-7 years in a row, even more, my number one song has been "The Shape of You" by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
And this year, for the first time in like 7-8 years, "Careless Whisper" has
Whoa.
beaten
Oh wow.
"The
That's
Shape of
great.
You."
Yeah.
And I'm not gay.
No.
They should tell me, like, dude, you're not gay.
I like Queen, but it's more rock-ish.
Yeah,
You know.
Queen is more rock.
Yeah.
Queen is like,
I've always been into rock more than pop, I guess.
So here's the story about Benjamin Netanyahu.
Who?
Do you watch the news?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes
I stopped reading the news
Yeah.
like 2 years ago.
sometimes I'll open the new, like I'll open TV and I open Global. I open
When
anyways,
Trump got out of office, I stopped reading the
That's
news.
enough.
Yeah.
I opened the
It was
news
all fake after that. Sorry, go on.
and I saw a protest. So yeah, I opened the news and I saw a protest, and it was beautiful. I saw a rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's a rabbi?
It's like a yanta. Yeah. Yeah, it's like of course I know what a rabbi is. I work for Jews.
We all do. So I opened and I saw a rabbi. It was beautiful. It was a protest. It was like a video of a protest, and it was a rabbi with like a bunch of other rabbis walking with like a Muslim sheikh, a Muslim priest. They're walking together. We're holding hands. I'm like, oh, finally, like, this is what the world needs. Like, especially now, the Jews and the Muslim to get together. And I put the volume up, and it was an anti-LGBTQ walk.
Oh wow, you didn't know?
I'm like, all right, okay, listen, you can't have everything. This is true. By the way.
Wow, that's
I'm
really
like,
funny.
oh.
That's pretty good.
Like, you can't, what unites them separates them
Yeah.
from the rest of the world.
What's another thing that we don't know about at all?
I've been loving watching people watch the Middle Eastern crisis right now. I saw it was a protest. It was a Palestinian protest,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lady, and she had like a the sign.
Baby?
She had a sign,
Oh, sign.
and the sign said, "Bibi Netanyahu is a war criminal." And I'm like,
BB.
Bibi. So Bibi Netanyahu is the nickname of Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel.
Okay.
And I'm like, I just found it funny because everyone calls him Bibi Netanyahu. I'm like, why are you calling him Call him, it's like saying, oh, Adolf Hitler committed genocide. Oh, you mean Dodo Hitler?
yeah.
Like, why are you calling him by his cutesy little name?
Yeah,
Like the name
name.
that mothers of the neighborhoods used to call him. Like, oh, Dodo, the son of Clara Hitler? Oh, he's a
That's
bad
pretty
boy.
funny.
Like, why you call
Yeah.
him by his actual name? It's so funny to use
Yeah.
his nickname when
Mhm.
you refer to someone as a war criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Bibi Netanyahu.
Okay, name me another.
Like the
thing.
news, they'll say like Bibi Netanyahu has blah, blah, blah.
Oh, really?
It's hilarious.
I don't know.
Sorry, you were saying?
Name me something that you think I don't know anything about, like another thing.
So yeah, Bibi Netanyahu, for sure you didn't know.
I mean, I know who he was. I just was like playing it up.
I don't believe you. I
Yeah,
really don't believe you.
Netanyahu.
Okay, from next time, I'm
Yeah.
everything that comes to mind, like, oh, that would be funny, like history, World War II or whatever. I'm gonna write.
Well, I know a lot that. I've read books, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
because you read so much.
I don't know anything about current.
As I said, we have. It's not that I don't think you're dumb.
Yeah,
I think
don't know.
culturally we were influenced so differently, you and I.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, just it's so different. It's insane.
Yeah.
How sometimes I sort of like, like he's not right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Like I've never laughed at like Bill Maher or whatever.
I mean, either.
Or not
Listen,
Bill
I
Maher.
like Jay Leno. That's my type.
Ah, okay.
I know
I
you-
like Jay Leno's alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him now. I like it now that he like crashes his cars for some reason. I think that's funny. Like he just flips his car and he's like, "Ooh."
By accident.
Yeah, I know, but like I like it that he's like, yeah, whatever, crash my car.
You know when it hit me when we were hosting together. By the way, for people who don't know, Gabe and I, if you ever come to our shows,
Mhm.
Gabe and I, we host together now.
Yeah.
We just go on stage together for
Yeah.
like 10, 15 minutes
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the top, and we just mess around with the crowd.
Mhm.
If you're not coming to our shows, you're messing out. There's a
Yeah.
few people in Montreal. I know they listen to the podcast.
Yeah, come on, mother.
Just come.
mother lovers.
Just come.
Yeah.
We do silly jokes together on stage,
Yeah.
and we have you good line. The shows have like every
Yeah.
time we start.
Lineup's good.
Since we started hosting together, the shows have been
Yeah, really good.
Really good.
Really, like the audience has been digging it. Yeah,
yeah. They're you should come.
yeah.
So when we were on stage, and remember we asked like the couple engineers like what podcast they listen to,
Yes.
and I recognized like a couple.
I
And
was
you're like, I have
I've
no idea.
never
What
heard.
I'm like NPR. You're like, what is those letters?
I know NPR, but I'm like this evening in the today. I'm like I don't know.
It's really
Smartless. I don't know. And then there's one that's like what was the other one?
Radio Lab, Freakonomics.
I heard Radio Lab because that's like the first podcast I think ever.
Ah.
It's such an old
Yeah,
podcast.
I didn't know that. Okay, I love Radio Lab.
And then I've never listened to an episode.
You see, Eugene recommends me Smart Podcast.
Yeah.
That's
But
American
then-
Life. This American Life is pretty good.
Yeah, I just don't trust anything they say because it's so quickly put together. They're like, okay, we got a week. And then they tape
they're
this
really
thing.
well made.
I know, but I just don't trust it. I don't know why. I need like a book where
A book can be as.
I know, but for some reason I trust it. It's like Penguin Audio
there's-
presents.
Again, you read so much. That's the funny. Yeah, but you read sci-fi. That's how
No. I mean, only the last one.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true.
But I read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you read it?
That was really
You
good.
read it?
No,
Or
I
you-
listened to it.
Nice. I heard it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I think I've seen it once. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be about capitalism versus communism. Apparently, it's a metaphor.
Is it? I thought it was more about people not conforming to like society taking you and then crushing you down into a cog in the machine. And so I don't know if it's there. I could see how it could be also about communism, but it's more like just like how you come out of the womb and then you end up going to school, and then
Yeah.
from there they just tell you to how to be, and then you grow up. If you don't fit into society, you end up in the mental institution basically.
Dang.
Because the Jack Nicholson character in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, when I was watching it as a kid, I thought he was insane too.
Yeah.
He wasn't insane. He was a criminal with like psychopathic and sociopathic tendencies. But they threw him in the mental institution because he got into a fight at a work camp prison he was at. And so he got thrown in there because they thought, okay, this is the last whatever. And then he saw everyone, all the people in the mental institution. And he's like, you guys aren't crazy. You guys are just like, you're no more crazy than I am. You just have your spirits are broken from this machine, you know? So he taught everybody how to like live and laugh. And then the woman, Nurse Ratched, had enough and then basically killed him.
She killed him?
Well, like
I don't remember that.
She cut his like
so
a
it's
piece
not
of
a
his,
comedy?
No, it's so screwed up.
Really? Oh, what? Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Oh, it's really good. It's I won't ruin. I already ruined part of it, but it's really good. The book was really good too.
Yeah.
The book was so heartbreaking.
There's some books I read. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. There's a book I could not finish it. Lolita.
Oh, I never read that. Creepy, huh?
The most.
The
beautiful-
movie's funny.
I haven't seen the movie. I'm like, there's no way I'm watching.
It's totally different. It's like apparently it's more of a comedy.
Oh, really?
It's like kind of like
Like,
slap-
look at the silly guy.
well,
He's in love with a 13-year-old.
yeah, it's weird.
Silly man.
Because the girl doesn't look 13 from what I remember.
Who's the girl?
I don't. It's like from the 1950s, so
Oh.
it's like
It's
Barbara.
actually a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's actually 10-year-old. They look
It's
old.
like for the movie, we
Yeah.
gotta molest her.
But the guy who acted in it, I think he's pretty. It was like done by Stanley Kubrick, right? So
Oh yeah.
the
Oh, I
way
didn't
he
know that.
directs stuff is like whack. Like
The book is scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read that.
You shouldn't. But here's
Nah.
the thing. The
Ow.
prose,
Mm.
it's so beautiful. The way the words are so well put together. It's musical. That's how good
Yeah.
the words are. It's a beautifully written book. I think after like 15 pages, I'm like, because he started describing like the thighs of a 13-year-old.
Whoa, weird.
You're like, and he's writing so well. You're like,
yeah.
and you just imagine when I read,
You imagine everything.
I'm imagining the book, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't want, and I
Gross.
just put it down. Another book is American Psycho.
Oh yeah.
It's so intense.
That's gotta be good.
I couldn't finish
from
it.
the point of view of the guy, right?
Yeah, and clearly the way he writes, he's under something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess cocaine, because apparently they did
Yeah,
a lot
maybe.
of cocaine. And you're reading it, and he's just like, here's the effect I have. Okay, I'm gonna do it to you. I'm gonna give you anxiety. You ready? He's just like this. This is like this is how you feel. You know, like how right now I'm like kind of bothering you, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is kind of in my space.
You know what's
and
funny?
Just invading me.
This is
Ah,
not even bugging me that much because Claire just bugs me way more than that. That's like, oh, that feels. Your hands are nice and warm. I just feel the warmth.
It's just like
But I know what you
Hey,
mean. Yeah,
hey, man.
that's way more.
Hey man,
Oh!
hey man, hey man, hey man.
No!
This is how it felt
Okay.
reading American
That
Psycho.
was scarier.
I'm like, I can't read that at all.
No, that's.
Bothered me.
I'll check that out though. I heard people like it.
It is. Aw.
I know.
Mwah. It's too much.
People listening to the podcast thought we just kissed.
Yeah. Our feet did. Our feet.
Well, everybody, thank you for watching the episode.
You
Tell
guys
your
been
friends.
awesome. Tell your friends.
Good episode. We're gonna
Comment. Tell us a book we should
yeah.
read.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good shorts in this one, guys. So keep your lookout.
Hopefully, Gabe will have time to do that.
No, these are good ones.
Gabe needs a vacation. Are you going on vacation?
Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
All right.
I don't know.
Peace. I love you, Eugene.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.